What's good? What's good? What's good? Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi Town Kakalaka remix to the sticks. Boy, oh boy, did we get a treat yesterday from some beautiful content creators who attended the Melody Cherie Rogers event, Mimosas with Melody. And boy, was it a stunning and stellar event. If I must say so, that is an understatement. Beautiful, 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 beautiful turnout. Everyone was on their highest of behavior, and there was not a glitch that I could see in sight. I popped over to our beautiful Here for Hot Teas live stream, and she so generously shared the event with us, and it was absolutely powerful, gave me goosebumps, and that was such a gracious and generous offering uh, for Here for Hot Tea to show us the event live. And our beautiful sister trending at some point as well, and of course the Queen Sheba popped out looking fabulous. They all look so gorgeous. And it brought tears to my eyes because I really needed to see that with our women coming together in love. You don't have to necessarily know a person to love a person. If you come from a place of godliness, if you come from a place of spirituality, if you come from a place of wanting to evolve, grow, and change, there's no way that you can possibly offer up as much love as Melody and these ladies do without some type of evolution and growth there. Lots of times we take risks doing that. Sometimes we take a L. Sometimes we get a big, huge W. And what I saw the other day, yesterday, was a huge win for all Black women who are connected to this energy, this high frequency of being a pioneer versus a party girl. Okay. You got to have a balance between both. It's okay to have fun and party, but after you get to that work, okay, after you have made a difference and an impact so large and so deep, it touches people to want to travel just to come share that beautiful space and those beautiful moments with you. Now, that's what I'm going to get on today is pioneer or party girl. All right, now we're going to kind of intertwine a couple of little things here because for many it is Easter Sunday, and I understand the resurrection story. I understand the Christian walk with that particular terminology, but I'm going to throw a little education in there for those of us who don't understand the true background and history, ancient history of paganism connected to Easter and how it got diluted, chopped, screwed, and remixed into what we see today daily, often every year on Easter Sunday. Okay. Now, some people say it's satanic, which is a whole lot of ignorance. Others say that it is of bafflement energy, worshiping the devil, satanic, same thing, synonymous. And others, like myself and many other alchemists out here, understand that this particular history behind this of the ritual behind Easter is for a whole different understanding and a whole different purpose. So let's pop over here first. Okay, we're gonna take a peekaboo at shout out to Diana Rose and Empress Radio as well. They shared this and it was taken down before I could go take a peek. I was a little bit busy. I couldn't jump over there and catch it for myself. So shout out to those two beautiful ladies. They posted up. I'm sure a lot have already seen it, but I'm gonna go into it. You know how I do with the alchemist breakdown of sorts, where brother Dr. Chris Fletcher popped up on TikTok, did a live, and apparently his cousin, who appears to be, I believe I've seen her on before, Wild and Out. And I think she's a comedian, actress, something like that. Her face looks really familiar. I'm not really into Wild and Out a lot, but I have seen her around. I believe she is a comedian or trying to be one. Now they were, she was hurling a lot of shade at our girl Melody. I don't know if she knows Melody or not. It's the way she talks. You would think that she does know Melody personally and is riding around in her pocketbook inside of her purse next to her sunglasses, the way she was chunking shade around and really being greasy over there on live on TikTok with Chris Fletcher. Okay. So I'm going to just play the audio and we're going to break it on down. I'm sure, like I said, I'm not the first, won't be the last, but I got my little spin on it that I want to share with y'all. So peep this out here. I'm just gonna grab the audio because they did the work and went over there and posted it up and everything. So once again, shout out to these beautiful ladies. Be on it. My work schedule is so weird, so I get to it when I get to it, like most of us content creators. We're gonna mix it on up though. So check, peep this, y'all, and we're gonna go through it with a fine tooth comb. Let's go. Let me just get past that little part. Here we go.
What was it? Rename it? What she's call it?
It's a renaming. She just had a renaming ceremony.
Y'all, let me tell y'all, where they had that ceremony at, it was not cheap. Honey, I know about them prices up there on that mountain. Baby, she could have had her wedding. Listen. That baby had a whole ceremony. Did y'all have food?
Yeah, some good food. Yeah, I had some good food.
You had it catered.
Yeah, that was her backyard, actually.
I thought that was on the beard at the mountain.
At the backyard.
Oh, well, she got a nice backyard. I lied, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought she was on the mountain.
Her house is up on the mountain.
No, I thought y'all was at the beard.
That one. No.
I lied. Allegedly. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a nap.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a naming ceremony. You all are all invited.
Good night, Toy.
I'm gonna have it at Chris' house.
Toy, leave my friend alone. That's my sister now.
But I'm not playing no violin. Okay, we playing Kevin Gates when I take back my last day. And I think I was speaking to Nell, and she thought I said Mel, and I said, I'm talking to my cousin. But yeah, I love everybody on this show. You know, they work my nerves, but I love them all. Yeah, she cool. I mean, people just complain that she's rude or nothing, but I mean, the girl on TV, she just, you don't want nobody asking you all these questions and stuff. Yeah. Because, honey, I got a story to tell, but my story's in my book. All right, Chris, go on and end with your people. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Shawty Long Legs.
Bye. So I'm
Okay, there we go. That's it in a nutshell. My thing is here, Mel got it like that. She's a pioneer. She cut loose her dead weight and she moved on. Now, if she had made a spectacle of herself and really truly embarrassed herself and her children on national TV, then we all would still be talking about that. Oh, how does she be? How is she still not over it, if you will, right? That's my thing, with the community the way that it is, as toxic and traumatized and damaged as Black people are as a whole. This type of conversation behind people's back, it really is a testament to the character of the person that's saying it, and those who stand around complicit and laugh about the shit, all while proclaiming some type of loyalty to the person that they're talking about. You know, this is a trigger for me, and it really upset me because I have several family members who have done this to me the majority of my life, starting off as young as 6 and 7 and 8 years old. My mother and sister do this all the time because of the fact that most people don't want to hear a lot of negativity about other people's family members, right? So who else are you going to vent to but each other inside the family, right? And a lot of people click up in families just like they do at work or anywhere else, in a social environment. But for me, it's like, why are we using the term family if all you're going to do is talk about me and you never talk to me, right? And the only time that you do talk to me, you're not really talking to me, you're talking at me, right? So this particularly disturbed my spirit because, the lackluster, lethargic way that these people display loyalty is jarring. It really is infuriating how slow some people are on the uptake, right? And just like everybody else said that King Cobra Carlos King knew exactly what was happening to Melody, so did Chris Fletcher and Nell, because I know we saw it filmed where she explained it. Okay, she explained it to Nell way back about a year after the divorce, where when Ike Turner was still acting a fool, talking about Mel had 20 babysitters. We all remember that. Okay, so my thing is this: are you a pioneer, or are you a pigeon? Party girl. Okay, let's move over to Tisha. Same thing. You had all this smoke for Mel. You had all this, oh, you're not the same person. You've changed. We don't hang out anymore. You're not as fun as you used to be. Well, dum dum, dingbat, I'm going through a really hard time in my marriage right now. So excuse me if I can't titillate you while I'm watching my whole life change right before my eyes, including three and then four small children that I have to still care for and keep them in some type of semblance of normalcy while our family is ripped in half. I'm just really I'm on my thing today, you know, and it's bittersweet because I'm just so elated about how successful Mimosas with Melody was, and then to see this the same day the same day posted by her so-called friend slash sister, Chris Fletcher. So let's go back. We're going to go back and go through this one more time, and I'm going to put my Chicago Queendom spin on it. Okay. And we gonna roast and dissect and educate ourselves on what to further look out for. Okay. In these dysfunctional, toxic triangulation circles of so-called friendships that see, and I just knew it was something about Nell when she first came on. I mean, she was bubbly and everything, but when I saw the chemistry between her and her husband and the dynamic with Mel and Ike Turner Holt and how they blended in with the cast and everything, I just something didn't sit well with them, with me. They're charming and endearing, but that's the first red flag of a narcissist, is they're very charming, they're very, very well put together aesthetically, But once you peel back the first layer of the superficial onion, you see that there's not much of a prize beneath that. So let's go back just to hair, and we're going to go through it one more time, and I'm going to give it to you like I do. Let's go.
It's a renaming. She just had a renaming ceremony.
It was a name change, a legal name changing ceremony, which is an investment in her own self for healing. And another Black woman, such as this, Toya, don't have to like it. You don't have to approve of it. You don't have to even overstand it. It was for Melody to do it. And it was for her intimate circle. And now we see, in my opinion, we need to check that circle one more time. Okay? We might need to reevaluate that circle, the members in that circle one more time. Just my opinion.
Y'all, and let me tell y'all, where they had that ceremony at, it was not cheap. Honey, I know about them prices up there on them mountain.
Do you see what I mean? She talks as if she knows Melody personally, just from maybe watching her on the show and hearing other people that she's connected to that know Melody talk about certain things and whatnot, social media as well, just like we all glean certain types of information from collective sources. Okay, that was her fucking house and her backyard. So this is what I mean by dangerous Black women. You know, they lead with their emotions for the majority of the time, and they pass it off as a joke. And it's really not a joke, it's shade. And underneath that shade tree, that's that weed that's planted there that grew into a shade tree. It's a lot of jealousy and rotten roots. You know, the core and the base of that tree might look like it has fungus growing on the bark of it. That's how you know that is not a tree. It is a weed that manifested and grew into a larger weed, and it just is the size of a tree size weed, as my grandpa used to say.
Baby, she could have had her wedding. Listen.
I don't get it. I don't get the joke. I don't get the joke. I don't understand what's so fucking funny. I don't really, I just don't get it. That went over my fucking head. You know, maybe it went under my fucking feet, because this is something that didn't come out of your pocket. You didn't have any investment in it at all. So it doesn't affect you in any way. What Melody should eat don't make you shit. So why do you give a damn if she could have had a wedding or not? She got it like that. So what? Let her be great.
Listen. That baby had a whole ceremony. Did y'all eat have food?
Yeah, some good food. Yeah, I had some good food.
You had it.
This is what, you know, people like this, especially Black, this is so ugly to me. This is so unbecoming and off-putting for such an immature display. You know, this is the epitome of ghetto to me. This is not comedy. It is at someone else's expense. You know, we all can joke and laugh at ourselves a little bit. You know, we all can do that. Hopefully, most of us can. This is just not fucking funny. This is childish banter, you know, and just real blatant tacky shade, you know. And I went and I saw where Chris Fletcher took it down. So let's go a little bit more.
Catered.
Yeah, that was her backyard, actually.
I thought that was on the beard at the mouth.
At the backyard.
Oh.
See, the baby mansion is so beautiful. This ignorant hood booger Toya thought it was at a different venue that was a paid venue. She had it in her at her home. And I got a lot of hate like that on a way smaller scale, just to parallel to be relatable. Same thing. I had my wedding reception in my backyard back in Chicago, and I did not spend a lot of money on my wedding. Okay, I didn't. I could have, but I figured we have kiddos that are approaching college age, and at that stage in my life, they were older. So I just didn't see spending that much money on one day when we could just save it and invest it in our children, which is a lot like what Melody does when she has certain events that are private. She only wants a select people to attend. She has them at her home. Her choice. She can do what the fuck she want to do, how she want to spend her money. What is it to you, Toya? Like, why do you care about somebody that you don't even really know like that? This is what I mean by self-loathing, covert narcissism. They have to have some type of superiority complex, and then they're always shooting really rude, disgusting rhetoric, trying to pass it off and thinly veil it as a damn joke. This backhanded type of energy. This is toxic. This does not belong in the arena of Black women who are trying to grow and elevate and be pioneers in their craft of what they do. Don't hate on Melody because she decided that she wanted to rededicate herself to her maiden name and her status as she was before she was married. What's the problem? This is why it's important to expose ourselves to many different type of environments and educate ourselves and stop wanting to be entertained versus educating ourselves. You're sitting up here, you don't look like you're in good physical shape. You have this scrunched up face, which is akin to like how Miss Betty looks all the time, or Stormy looks all the time. Just have this real stank aura, and not many people really want to deal with you on a personal level, and they just look at you and they're not even really laughing with you. They're laughing at you, and some of us are just quiet because there's just no words for shit like this at this big age. Let's go.
Oh, well, she got a nice backyard. I lied, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought she was on the mountain.
Her house is up on the mountain.
No, I thought y'all was at the burial.
That one. No.
I lied.
Gagged and choked. Okay, you had to eat that shit, didn't you?
Allegedly. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a nap.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a naming ceremony. You all are all invited.
And Chris was so busy reading the comments, he really wasn't invested a lot into what she was saying. But I know he heard her. And if that's your sister, Chris, then why didn't you stop that at the gate? Right? When I say I'm sisters, you're my sister, you tell me I'm your sister, you're not going to get past the first sentence of disrespect. I don't give a fuck if it's a joke or not. Okay? That's my sis. Okay? Just let's get off that topic because it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. She did her thing so that she can move forward. Do you want to see her move forward and continue to be a pioneer in her lane, Toya? Or do you want to try to keep throwing stumbling blocks and keep shooting darts at her back for somebody that ain't even checking for you? Hence, Cap and Kimmy trying to drag Mel back into the comeback group, not once, but twice, but 3 times. Hence, Tinkerbell Tisha always sniffing up Melody's skirt, him trying to get her to react or respond to some frivolous nonsense and distract her from what it set out to do, which was break away and is the breakout star, and made it look effortless despite the hell that was thrown her way and is still clearly being thrown at her. This is disgusting. And this is one of the women who will holler and scream and shout, "You gonna respect me," as soon as somebody give her a fresh one in her smart, vile mouth. Let's go.
Good night. Toy.
I'm gonna have it in Chris' house.
Toy, leave my friend alone. That's my sister now.
But I'm not playing no violin. Okay, we playing Kevin Gates when I take back my last day. And I think I was speaking to Nell, and she thought I said Mel, and I said, I'm talking to my cousin. But yeah, I love everybody on this show. You know, I just, they work my nerves, but I love them all. Yeah, she cool. I mean, people just complain that she's rude or nothing, but I mean, the girl on TV, she just, you know.
Rude. Houseway. You know, that I can't stand that. Rude. Same thing what Tisha Tinkerbell said. Mean girl. Mel is just mean. I'm not mean. I just don't fuck with you like that. Okay, I'm not rude. If I acknowledge you, I'm civil and cordial, and I keep it pushing. I used to get that in church a lot because my husband was the minister of music at that time before we divorced, and he was a member of that church for a very long time before I joined, and we got together. And for years, people would say that I was rude because I did not frolic and fraternize with everybody after church. I don't have the headspace for that. After sitting up in there for hours upon hours, okay, and then you're up before the chickens to get there on time to get set up, get everything, sound check and all that done. And then sometimes you have to stay much later if there's an event it's coming up. Y'all know how church is when you're part of an auxiliary, okay? And I did not have the headspace or the capacity to sit around and henpeck at the rest of the women in the church. I would say my goodbyes. I was very polite, and I would go sit in my vehicle or outside of the church and decompress. I didn't converse a lot with a lot of people, so people called me rude. They would think that I was mean. Okay. And this is the type of energy that I get from Toya. Her face is always scrunched up while she's talking. It's like she's confused about why this black woman, Melody Cherie, had the ends and the gumption to celebrate herself with a name change ceremony. Okay. So like it's better than Melody. Oh, I'm gonna play Kevin Gates. That's you. If you want to be ghetto and crass and tacky, and if you rugged like that, you like roughneck type crap like that. Nothing against Kevin Gates, but hey, do you, boo? Y'all not in the same lane. You wouldn't even breathe the same fucking air as Melody anyway, unless it was at a party in the pasture type shit. Let's go.
No, you don't want nobody asking you all these questions and stuff. Yeah. Because, honey, I got a story to tell, but my story's in my book. All right, Chris, go on and end with your people. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Shawty Long Legs.
Bye. So I'm not sure if Chris...
There we go. Once again, shout out to Diana Rose for copping that for us before Chris took it down because he knew the Melometers was going to come chew his ass up. Okay, now let's do this here. Pioneer or party girl? I was over here being nosy again, y'all. I was over here being nosy again, baby. And I was checking out, it was Easter Sunday. Let me see if any of the pretty little babies is up here dressed up nice and everything. That's one part that I did like about the Christian portion of Easter. My daughter and my sons and I were kind of, twinning up quadruplet style. And I taught them the history behind Easter Sunday and why, we dress up. It's the resurrection. I taught them that part for informational purposes only. We didn't really observe Easter, Christmas, and all that in my household, but I allowed their grandmother, my mother, to have that experience with them because she's a boomer and they don't really like change, and they don't want to be conscious to a lot of things that they don't understand. Newness to a lot of the boomers is fear. So when you fear something, you try to either destroy it or you run from it. So I taught mine, both, the best of both worlds, the alchemist side and the Christian side, because the majority of my family is Christian. And of course, being the scapegoat and the black sheep, I probably am one of the most conscious members of my immediate nuclear family. And my children are very militant, like their mama, when it comes to lying to them, like the motherfucking tooth fairy, and Santa Claus sliding down the motherfucking chimney in the fireplace and coming through and eating them fucking cookies and shit and leaving reindeer deer prints all around the fucking house. That's a whole nother thing. We're gonna do that later. But I just didn't want to lie to my children like that. Okay. So we peep I was peeping over here at Tisha, and she posted her cheerings. Okay. She posted her cheerings. Okay. She posted her cheerings up here, and one is watching her little baby sister pick a Easter basket. Okay. And she was kind of teasing a little bit, when you can't get an Easter basket, you too old now, big girl growing up and all of that. Yeah, okay. So here's the little one. She wants to pick her Easter basket and everything like that. Boom, boom, boom. Pow. Now, this is why I say, are you a fucking, excuse me. I'm upset. Are you a pioneer or are you a party girl? Okay, now I don't know what event this is. I didn't do the research, but I'm just looking at the whole ordeal here at Black. And then we all know the backstory of their financial, devastatingly horrible background with all these lawsuits pending against the Snots 1.0. And they list partying like, they don't owe nobody no money. Are you a party girl or are you a pioneer? Okay. Are you a party girl or a pioneer? It makes you wonder, like, who are all these people that show up at Black? Are all these people broke? Do they got lawsuits pending? Are their bills paid? Or are they millionaires? Is this a room full of millionaires? Any dignitaries? Any people running for the Senate? Any Black excellence do you see up in here? I don't know. I can't say, right? I can't say who these people are, what they have in their pocketbook. But again, birds of a feather flock together. What are we doing here? It's about 3 dozen people here, you know, and they just grooving around, hopping around to the DJ, drinking and turning up and everything, because they seem to be starved for attention. When are adults ever required to grow up and truly handle their business? You work hard, you play hard, which is why I asked the question, are you a pioneer or a party girl, Tisha? You know, and I saw another post that someone else put up where, I think it was Diana Rose said that she was did a photo shoot in the public bathroom. You got the toilet, the commode sitting there behind you, and you all gussied up, standing in the bathroom, yeah, I, whatever. But anyway, nonetheless, here we are. Okay, we're at Black, and we're just mingling and socializing. Is this a particular event, a mixer, just a regular Saturday night, just hanging out? Just get dressed up, hang out with everybody on Saturday night, patronize a bar, buy some food, chill out. That's that. And I mean, granted, we all need time away, time to unwind, have a good time, socialize, mingle, and everything. But we know the history of Black. Okay, are we trying to beef up the revenue? Are we trying to, bring in the patronage so that we can start preparing to get some legal counsel to try to, try to lessen some of that uh, possible prison time that you might be facing? Maybe. I don't know. What do you think, peeps? What do y'all think? Are you a pioneer or a party girl? So, the best of the best for last, of course, so we can have a beautiful vision to erase that travesty that we saw of adult people still trying to relive their college days. Check Melody out, y'all. She got her 30% off code Risen 30. Okay. And here we are. Mimosas with melodies. Okay. Boom. She looked absolutely stunning yesterday. No gray area. I love the black and white, the spirituality behind that. No black, no more fugaga. Black and white. You either with me or you're not. You gonna get on this train and get in where you fit in and make room, or you get cut off. No more hot water. I'm not playing with you. And that's the way it has to be, especially in the climate that we live in now. You see all kind of craziness going on because of what? Petty, silly jealousy. Okay? She looks absolutely beautiful. And she did it again, of course. She did that. She did that. Did it. Okay? I mean, it was just angelic, she looked like a little angel up there with her little beautiful self. Okay, peep this one. Tonight we bring an evening of black excellence. Tonight we show what black excellence looks like. Tonight we show that what unity brings. I can't wait to see you all with Love Melody. Okay. Hill Harper was a very powerful speaker. Here are some awesome kings, our melanated brothers, getting all smooth for Mimosas with Melody. Isn't she gorgeous? Gorgeous soul, gorgeous, gorgeous, glowing. This is what happy looked like, y'all. Don't have to have a man, but can have any man she want if she choose. Not validated by a man. Look at her. Absolutely flawless. Claudia Jordan looked really beautiful as well. She looked so stunning. Look at Mama Van and the crew. Okay. Absolutely beautiful. So what's the problem is? I'm just trying to figure out why is everybody so damn upset to see this black woman whose inside matches her outside, invest in herself, love herself, and do what she led to do by the omnipotent creator. Absolutely beautiful. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful turnout. It, see how beautiful it was all put together. You treat people like family. Treat people like family. You would think everybody in there was already acquainted with each other. This is so precious. Shout out to Queen Sheba Darling as well. There she is with her girl Sharnita. So, are you a pioneer or are you a party girl? That's all I'm saying. Looks like they had a beautiful spread. Everything's so nice and lovely. You know what I'm saying? She took her babies out to got nice meal, quality time with them so she could host her Mimosas with Melody. Okay. Now, another thing I wanted to kind of touch on was, like I said, the the history behind Easter. What the alchemist side of it looks and sounds like. So I'm gonna go through this here with you just to kind of give you a little something to think about, a little something to chew on, a little something that I dug into with a few people and didn't sit too well because the programming of understanding that this is a Christian holiday and it's not a holiday. It's a symbolic day of freedom. It's a symbolic day of rebirth. It's a symbolic day of putting away the old, manifesting new spring, new life, fertility, harvest, abundance, blessings, um, bringing in a turn of a season. Okay. So let's check this out. And y'all can let me know what you think down there in the comment section.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world.
Shout out to this channel, Ancient Architects. I had a few other things I wanted to play, but they might be a little too strong. So we'll go with this one. Shout out to Ancient Architects. I'm not subscribed to this channel, but it came up in a lot of the research that I was doing both on and off social media. I've dug up some things from some old research that I did back in 2011 on Easter because my youngest had come to me at one point and asked me but what's behind Easter? What's up with that? So we had to talk, and I was honest with him. And this particular channel uh, came through when I did my final search on YouTube to see if there were any videos that broke it down, kept it simple. So here we go. Let's go.
Today is Easter Sunday, and whilst the Christians of the world are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, Christians and non-Christians alike will no doubt be feasting on chocolate eggs. The rebirth of Jesus and the consumption of chocolate eggs are certainly not linked with regards to their origins, and historians and biblical scholars alike will universally admit that before ever coming a Christian holiday, Easter is undoubtedly a pagan festival.
And chocolate was originated in Germany and South America. Okay. German chocolate made into eggs is of European background. Beyond that, it goes to South America where the cocoa bean is, down there around where Samaria was, which is now known as South America. We all know who was down there in South America. Let's go.
This can be seen by the fact that the date of the Easter weekend changes every year, and it is due to Easter always being the first Sunday following the full moon after the spring equinox. Unlike the word Christmas, the word Easter also has pagan roots, and history books can trace it back to the Saxons, where Eastra was the spring goddess. It wasn't until the 8th century when the Anglo-Saxons took the name from the goddess and married her up with the resurrection of Jesus to give a new name to a Christian holiday. But of course, Easter as a celebration goes back much further than the Saxons, and some say it even goes as far back as the Sumerians, and the legend of Dumuzi or Tammuz to the Babylonians, and Ishtar or Inanna. The legend known as the Descent of Inanna was found inscribed on a 4,100-year-old clay tablet.
The clay tablets were where, y'all? In Egypt, on the continent of Africa, in the temples. Okay, let's go.
As Tammuz dies, Ishtar follows him into the underworld, where she gets judged, killed, and is hung on display. Meanwhile, the earth goes into decline, with
Tammuz is Ishtar's husband in ancient Sumeria. Okay, that's her husband who died. So she went down to the underworld to try to defend him, and that's what had happened. Now, peep, check it out.
crops failing and animals stop reproducing. After being missing for 3 days, the god Enki sends 2 creatures into the underworld, carrying the plant and water of life, and the 2 gods are resurrected. They return to Earth as the light of the sun for 6 months, and 6 months later they go back into the underworld again and stay for a further 6 months. Hence we see the cycle of death in the autumn and life in spring, all of which of course are connected to sun worship. As you can see, like the story of Noah's flood, the Christian story of Jesus has borrowed a lot from the Sumerian legends. Whether Jesus was a real person or not,
Sumerians are not people of no color. Okay, Sumerians, some of them are dark, fresh black, like blue black, have a wide diaspora of hues, just like American melanated people, just like anywhere else. Okay, because we were on this globe before anybody emerged from the mountains of anywhere. Okay, let's go.
is open to debate and is not for this video, but there is no doubt that the story of Jesus was embellished with far more ancient mythology to keep the ancient knowledge alive and to encode the wisdom into the New Testament for future generations. The Bible is certainly a carefully crafted work of art. As AncientOrigins.net reports, in their great new article on Easter, linked below in the description, in the 4th century, when Christians identified the exact location of the empty tomb of Jesus in Jerusalem, they selected a spot where a temple of Aphrodite, another god based on Ishtar or Inanna, once stood. Like with most churches and cathedrals around the world, the former pagan temple was torn down, and in this case the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was built in its place.
You see how they try to erase us all the way back to Sumeria? Okay, peep it now.
But of course, as many of you know, there are many more stories of death and resurrection in the ancient world, such as the story of Horus in ancient Egypt, Mithras, Dionysus, etc. All such legends have common elements, and are all associated with sun worship, and many were incorporated into the New Testament, which really isn't unsurprising when you look at the formation of
Sun worship, sun salutations in yoga. Okay, worshiping the sun, raising your hands, palms up to the sun. That came from the melanated diaspora from the motherland. Let's go.
the Holy Roman Empire and the adoption of Christianity by the Emperor. In ancient times, the Cybele cult flourished on today's Vatican Hill. Cybele's lover, Attis, was born of a virgin, died and was reborn annually. The spring festival began as a day of blood on Black Friday, rising to a crescendo after 3 days in rejoice over the resurrection.
Pay attention. You understand where Black Friday was mentioned? Okay, this was a sacrificial ritual in paganist genre. Okay, the pagans used Black Friday as a sacrifice, and then it evolved into Black people being auctioned off on Black Friday, families torn apart, infants being sold off like livestock. Y'all do the research. I'm just here as the messenger.
In the early days of Christianity, there were violent conflicts between this cult and early Christians over whose God was true, when the fact is that both stories are actually the same. In the New Testament, the death and resurrection of Jesus is another symbolic story about the rebirth of the sun, and surely wasn't a literal event. But not all historians agree that Ishtar is the origins of Easter, because there is another spring goddess, known by the names of Oster, Ostara, Austra, and Istra.
Those are the pagan ones. Ishtar or Inanna are the Egyptian or Sumerian ones. Big difference. The pagans were about control, power, and domination and superiority over the negros. Okay.
This goddess was celebrated on the spring equinox of March 21st as the bringer of light after winter. But in actual fact, it is very likely that all of these gods originate from Ishtar. The goddess was often depicted as a hare, and therefore the modern day Easter Bunny was symbolic for the arrival of spring, as well as the fertility of the season. As well as being
You know how back in the olden days, they say if a woman was pregnant, the doctor would do a test and the rabbit died, that means you're pregnant. Okay? Think about it, people.
being a goddess, Ostra is apparently an ancient word that means spring, and has been adopted and adapted by many European languages, and used ever since. Therefore, what this shows is that the true origins of Easter include a number of different customs and traditions from a number of different civilizations from different periods of time. It is a composite and truly pagan festival centred on the rebirth of the sun after the cold winter has passed. This is a timeless festival and has always been of high importance to most civilizations because it means that humans can once again cultivate crops as the earth warms up. So, why are we all eating chocolate eggs this weekend and feeling sick and falling asleep on the sofa in front of an old James Bond movie? Okay, that was my own Easter tradition growing up, but as you may have guessed, in ancient spring worship customs, the egg was associated with rebirth, renewal and fertility. But why does a hare or Easter bunny give out eggs? Well, in Germanic mythology, the goddess Ostara healed a wounded bird before turning it into a hare. The hare, still partially a bird, showed its gratitude by laying eggs as gifts. But even this Germanic pagan tradition goes back much further into antiquity, as even in ancient Egypt the egg was found to symbolise the sun. Going back to the Babylonian Ishtar, the goddess who is one and the same as the Sumerian goddess Inanna, and who all later spring goddesses were likely modelled on, she was the goddess of fertility, and her symbols were the rabbit or hare, and also the egg. So, when you're eating your Easter eggs this weekend, remember that the origins of this tradition go back many thousands of years. Maybe not chocolate eggs, but eggs nonetheless. As stated in AncientOrigin.net's fantastic article, the first reference of the Easter Bunny comes from a German text from 1572, which says, "Do not worry if the Easter Bunny escapes you. Should we miss his eggs, we will cook the nest."
And the eggs being dyed and decorated are symbolic of celebrating for we adorn the eggs, the fertile eggs, adorn them, dye them, make them colorful, right? Because the goddess of spring, sun worship, everything is bright, colorful, the grass is green, vibrant, flowers are blooming. You see the worker bees or the honey, the pollinating swarm come out, those big gigantic bees with no stinger that scare the life out of you and jump in your lemonade when you're sitting outside. Everything is bright and big and bold, popping out, the pollen, everything, everything is just overwhelmingly vibrant and intense in the spring. Let's go.
The egg-giving tradition, some of the finer details of the goddess myths, as well as the actual day when Easter Sunday is celebrated, were all incorporated into the Christian tradition and associated with Jesus by the Council of Nicaea. What I find most amazing is that the ancient traditions of our ancestors and the pagan symbolism have lived on. I wish you all a happy Easter and thank you very much for watching. I've just launched a new...
Boom. So that's that. Enough said. We're going to jump back over here and have another peekaboo at our beautiful Melody, just to take it out on a very high note and send her another congratulations on just how stunning and how powerful she really is. And we thank God for Melody. We thank God for the Melometers. We thank God for the outpouring of love and unity and Black excellence that was in the room and who were watching. So y'all continue to have a beautiful day and always keep it real. Always be true to yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself and those who you truly love, because love is precious. Love is a gift, and if it don't come naturally, it ain't real. You don't have to force love. It just happens. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna take it on out of here. One love, everybody. Melody. Love her. Peace, y'all. Love you.